Hey everybody, welcome back to Mad Money Murph. I, of course, am your host, Mad Money Murph. And today, the last couple videos that I've had have been pretty depressing, mostly about um, Voyager Digital and the debacle that they've created and caused. And I thought today, you know what, I'm going to come out and do something a little bit more fun, much more on the bright side. Um, before I forget though, if you do own crypto, uh, you're gonna get used to hearing me say this. Not your keys, not your crypto. Go get yourself something to take your crypto off the exchanges. I used a ledger device, and you can too. So that that just is a word of advice. Not your keys, not your crypto. So today, on a brighter note, I've been saying in the last couple of videos that I wanted to get out the my simple guide to financial freedom. It's something that I've worked on for a little while now, 3-4 months, and I was doing them one at a time. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go live and I'm going to go through all 10 steps. So it might be a little bit long. I'll try to go quick. I have them on a computer here. So I will go through all 10 steps. If you're looking for financial freedom, these are things that I personally have done, have used, and am I still work. My wife still works, but we are financially free. So these are 10 steps to financial freedom that anyone can use, whether you're making 100,000 or more, or even $15 an hour. If you follow them, they'll make you happier, they'll make you healthier, and they'll definitely make you wealthier. Okay. So without further ado, and as you can see from the thumbnail, I'm a lot more happy. I've seen in the comments some people with Voyager have lost, even more than I lost, and I feel bad for them. I know that I fell into that depression there for 3-4 weeks, and it was not good. But that having been said, step number one is to believe in yourself. Have faith in what you can do. So, for instance, if you're down and out, and if you are having some financial difficulties, just remember that you can do anything you put your mind to. So step number one, believe in yourself. Keep it simple and just get started. Okay. Step number two, write down, and this is of utmost importance, write down or put on a spreadsheet or even a free budget app for those of you who are into using apps, your income and your expenses. You see, you need to put everything in there. If you can't see it, it didn't happen. A mentor of mine once told me that. If you can't see it, it didn't happen. You have to have this stuff written down. You need to know what your income is and what your expenses are. Because oftentimes, what people say is, I didn't realize I was spending that much money. You see, the car loans and the subscriptions, they all add up, right? And now actually there are apps out there that are helping folks with their subscriptions to be able to see what subscriptions they have, like Netflix, Xfinity, whatever your subscriptions are. And a lot of people have 3, 4, 5 subscriptions that they really don't need. So this is the same type of thing. Write down or put on a spreadsheet or even a free budget app your income and expenses. You need to be able to see it. I make $8,000 a month, but then you look over here and you're spending $12,000 a month, or what now $9,000 a month, or whatever, right? And this is why you're never getting ahead, or you're spending $7,500 a month. You need to be able to see that in order to move forward with financial freedom. Step number 3, do everything in your power to increase your income. Do it as soon as you can. Don't be complacent. Don't sit at a job that you've been working for forever and not think that, let's say you haven't had a raise for 6 months or a year. Don't be complacent. It doesn't mean that just because you haven't gotten one doesn't mean you don't deserve one. So you can always go and ask, or you can go and get a second job. You can go get a part-time job, whatever. You can look for higher paying jobs, maybe in your field. Go to school, learn a trade. There are so many different things you can do. Have you been thinking about starting a business? Hey, man, dive in. I have recently failed at a few different businesses, and it sucks. It really does suck, but you cannot be afraid of failure. If you're afraid of failure, you'll never. If you're the type that wants to start a business, you'll never start it if you're afraid of failure. Things happen, things suck. People are going to say things. So what? Who cares, right? It's all about bettering your future. So number 4 is so obvious, but it needs to be said. Number 4 is spend less than you make and pay off your debt. So once you get your spreadsheet, and once you're making the income that you need to make, spend less than you make. So you're looking at your spreadsheet. If I make $8,000 a month, I need to spend less than $8,000 a month. I know it sounds ridiculous, but you need to get to that point where you know what you're spending and what your income is. Um, and I know it sounds ironic, but setting up this simple budget will help you with this. And as far as paying off debt, definitely pay off any credit card debt you may have. If you have several credit cards, start with the smallest balance first. Take those easy, quick wins, right? It does something mentally when you're taking those easy, quick wins. It doesn't matter what you're doing, whether you're paying off debt or not. Um, and let's see here. Don't have a credit card unless you can pay it off every month. I suggest you don't have an auto payment while paying off credit card debt, but if you do, continue making your auto payment, pay off the credit cards as quickly as possible, smallest first, and then move on to your vehicle. And I also put a note here, make sure you continue to pay your minimum auto payment or sell it and pay cash for a car you can't afford. So these are just things that you can do while you're paying off your debt. Once you're out of debt or have just little debt left, maybe say a car or an auto, you'll feel much better about moving forward. Okay. Number 5, I have save for an emergency fund. So now you're able to put a little bit of money away. Now that you've looked at what your income and expenses are. You've written down what your income and expenses are. You're doing everything you can to increase your income. You're now paying off debt or have had most of, some of your debt paid off or most. Then you can save for an emergency fund. Does that make sense? What you can do is say if you were, we paid off the smallest credit card debt to the largest, right? So let's say that you had 3 credit cards and you paid one of them off, and that's an extra, say, $100 a month. Put that $100 a month away into just a savings account, or just a savings account. That's all you need to worry about right now. A simple, basic, at the bank savings account. And really what you want to do is at least make it to where it's $1,000 as quickly as possible. So if you're only able to give it $100 a month, so be it. 10 months, you'll have your $1,000. That will at least help you if an emergency comes up. Then in the future, you can worry about having an emergency fund that is 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. That's the goal. So goal number 1 is get $1,000 as quickly as possible. Save, whatever you can into just a regular savings account that's easily accessible, local, and then the ultimate goal would be to get 3 to 6 months worth of expenses in that account, and you just leave it there. Okay. Number 6, stay away from excessive auto debt. Far too often, people are lured in by the beauty of a vehicle, the sound of a vehicle, the smell of the vehicle. Remember, that car gets you from A to B. I understand, I get it. I also like autos, I like cars. But remember, if you are looking for financial freedom, if you're in debt, if you're trying to get out of debt, this is something that you can get to later in life. For the time being, you need to stay out of excessive auto debt. And what I mean by that is there are so many right now, automobiles are so expensive, and they're so expensive that the manufacturers and the financiers are breaking down loans even over a longer period, a longer term, to make your payments less and less. Although there's still, I believe in the United States, I believe the average car payment is between $500 and $600. Don't quote me on that. I haven't done the research, but I do know it's somewhere in there, and that's on a really like a 5 to 6 year term. And with the price of vehicles, they're having to lengthen the amount of time to pay it off. So just stay away from that. If you need a vehicle, great. There's nothing wrong with buying a used vehicle. If you need to take a small loan, take a small loan. What I've always done is I've always looked at it, and this is not the norm. If I can, if I'm looking at a $30,000 vehicle, and if I can come up with half of that, that would be ideal. And again, that's just me. It's worked out for myself. At one point, I had a carpet cleaning and restoration business, property restoration business, that we had at one point 9 vehicles. If I didn't pay cash for the vehicle, there were, I think, 2 or 3 occasions where I did the 50%. And I did that because we were growing rapidly. So I needed to do something quick. So that said, stay away from excessive auto debt. You don't need to have one, 2, 3, 4, 5 autos. If you can, and you are trying to get out of debt, I would suggest that you have an auto loan, I would suggest that you take a very good look at it and see if you can get out of it, sell the car, buy a cheaper car for cash while you're getting out of debt. So enough about the autos. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below. We only have a few more steps here, so stay tuned for step 10. You're gonna like it. It's a good one. Step number 7. So now that you're kind of getting out of debt, you're saving, you have an emergency fund, you know what you're making, you know what you're spending. Now is the time when you can start investing in a 401k or other tax advantage savings accounts. Eventually you get to the point where you're investing 10 to 15% of your household income. And what I suggest is, and I'm not a financial advisor, but what I suggest is low or no cost index funds, and just hold them forever. That's what we're doing, and you can do it as well. A good one that I can think of off the top of my head right this minute is Fidelity Zero. It's FZROX. Take a look at it. It's total stock market index fund. Some people will say, well, hey, mad money. You know, that's the total stock market. What about a fund that has, you know, large caps or small caps, or you know, overseas investments as well, European stocks, you know, all these types of things. That's the beauty of a total stock market index fund. It includes companies that do business all over the world. For instance, Apple, you know, for all intents and purposes, pretty much is an international fund, or excuse me, international company. So this is what again, I'm not a financial advisor, but these are the things that I'm doing. You don't get as high of highs and you don't get as low of lows, but it's a good opportunity. Um, and then as far as crypto, my wife and I were definitely less than 5% of our total investing into crypto. I would like to get it up to 5%, but with everything that has shaken out over the last 6 months to a year, we'll see. But I definitely am invested in crypto and will keep going in crypto. We'll just see exactly what kind of a percent we put on it. And then if opportunities come up to purchase real estate, go for it. It makes good financial sense. My wife and I are actually kind of tweaking things a little bit. Um, the real estate market is getting hit a little bit right now. I believe it's going to get hit more, and so we're kind of changing our mindset a little bit. And again, and don't be afraid to change your mindset. Changing our mindset a little bit to actually get a little bit more into real estate again. So step number 7 is start investing in 401k, other tax advantage accounts, Roth IRA, things like that. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below. If you like what you're hearing, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and again, comment below. Step number 8, buy a house. Don't be a lifelong renter. I disagree with a little bit of some of the other gurus out there on how and when and why to buy a house. I definitely think you should buy a house when you have the opportunity. So when you've already gone through the other steps and you're on your way to financial freedom, this is something that can help you as well. Do not be a lifelong renter. I also definitely believe in you do not have to put 20% down. There's so many programs out there where you don't. 3 to 5% is down is fine. In fact, I guarantee you many of those so-called gurus out there, when they bought their first homes, they did not necessarily give 20% down or pay cash. I'm positive that they've purchased houses with help as well. So 3 to 5% down is fine, as long as it's 20. As long as your payment, including homeowners insurance, homeowner association fees, and property taxes, are 25% or less of your income. So you'll have to do the math on that. I do believe in 30-year rate fixed loans. You don't go if you're being pressured into anything lengthier. Don't do it. If you can do a 15-year, great, so be it. But again, 3 to 5% down is fine. It gets you in. And some people will harp on you about the PMI, private mortgage insurance. So be it. You might be stuck with PMI for say 3 to 5 years. Yes, it does increase your mortgage a little bit, but big deal. In 3 to 5 years, typically you'd be able to show that you have enough equity for that 20%. And even if it's a little bit longer, so be it. Number 9 is to always, always, always have insurance. And this is something that a lot of people don't necessarily talk about. You need to have insurance on your autos. You need to have insurance on your home. And especially if you have a wife and or children, you need to have term life insurance. And the reason why I say you need to have term life insurance is there are a lot of gimmicks out there, whole life. There are just so many other types of life insurance. Term life is the simplest, cheapest form of life insurance that's out there. And with the money that you save by getting term life insurance, you can put the savings into your savings and or invest it. So that's number 9. And here we are. If you waited till the end, step number 10 is do not forget step number 1. And what was step number 1? Believe in yourself. You can do this. I guarantee you can do it. Anybody can do it. We have So much opportunity. If you're watching this in the United States, especially, that's where I'm at. There is just so much opportunity, whether you think so or not. There are a lot of bad things happening in the world. Um, there's, and there's recession. There's a lot of bad things going on, but you can definitely do it if you believe in yourself. Doesn't matter where you're at, you can do it. So that's it for today's video. Please be sure to like and subscribe. I will continue to bring you with content, and I'm going to go through the steps one more time, real quick, 1 through 10, without going into detail. So, step 1 is believe in yourself. Step 2, write down or put on a spreadsheet or even a free budget app your income and expenses. Step 4, spend less than what you make and pay off debt as quickly as possible. Step number 5 is to save for an emergency fund. To begin with, that's $1,000. And moving on, once you've got the $1,000, the ideal emergency fund is 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. Step number 7 is to start investing in 401k, Roth IRA, or possibly even some other opportunities like crypto or real estate. Step number 8 is to definitely make a goal to buy your own home, not to be a lifelong renter. 3 to 5% down is fine on a 15 or 30-year fixed rate mortgage. And number 9, always have insurance. That includes your auto insurance, home insurance, and you get term life insurance. And then step number 10 is don't forget step number 1, folks. All right. Thanks again for watching the video. I appreciate it. And we'll try to keep the smile on for future videos, okay? Take care. Love y'all. Take care. Bye.